Long before the jingle of coins filled the marketplace, trade happened through a simple exchange. A farmer with extra rice would trade it for a potter's pots. This was barter. It was a system built on need and negotiation. But what if the potter did not need rice? The farmer would have to find someone else. This system was often inefficient. It relied on a double coincidence of wants. I must want what you have, and you must want what I have. This limitation sparked a revolution in human thought. People began searching for something everyone would accept as valuable, something that could store wealth and make trade easier for everyone involved. The answer came in the form of proto-money. These were not coins as we know them today. They were objects that had an agreed-upon value. In ancient India, this included things like cowrie shells, beads, and even cattle. But metal held a special allure. It was durable, divisible, and easy to carry. So, pieces of metal, often silver, began to be used. These were not standardized. They were simply lumps or ingots of metal. Their value was based purely on their weight. A merchant would carry a small scale to weigh the metal for every transaction. This was a step forward, but it was still a cumbersome process, relying on trust and accurate scales. Then came a brilliant innovation from the Gandhara region, in what is now parts of Afghanistan and Pakistan. Around the 6th century BCE, people started shaping silver into standardized forms. These were the famous bent bars, or shadamanas. Imagine a long, thin bar of silver, bent in the middle. Each bar had a consistent weight, roughly 11 grams. To guarantee this weight and purity, a small symbol, or a shroff mark, was stamped on its ends. This was a promise. It was an assurance from a trusted authority, perhaps a merchant guild or a local chieftain, that the metal was genuine. This was the true precursor to coinage in India. These bent bars were revolutionary. For the first time, money was not just about the weight of the metal, but also about the trust embodied in the mark stamped upon it. A trader no longer needed to carry scales for every small purchase. They could simply count the bars. This idea of a mark of authority, a symbol of guarantee, laid the very foundation for one of the world's oldest and most fascinating coinage traditions. It was the moment when a simple piece of metal began to tell a story of trade, power, and trust. The stage was now set for the arrival of India's first true coins. Following the age of bent bars, India entered a period of great change. Around the 6th century BCE, large kingdoms known as the Mahajanapadas rose across the Gangetic plains. These were powerful states like Magadha, Kashi, Kosala, and Gandhara. With growing kingdoms came growing economies. Trade flourished, cities expanded, and rulers needed a more efficient way to manage their wealth, pay their armies, and collect taxes. This need gave birth to India's first coins, the punch-marked coins. These were not perfectly round like modern coins. They were irregular pieces of silver, cut from a larger sheet of metal. Their uniqueness came from how they were marked. Instead of being struck with a single design, these coins were stamped with multiple symbols. Imagine a silversmith with a set of small punches, each with a different design: a sun, a six-armed symbol, a bull, a fish, or a geometric pattern. As each coin was made, it was stamped with several of these punches. This is why we call them punch-marked coins. It is believed that the number and combination of symbols represented different things. Some symbols might identify the kingdom that issued the coin. Others could be the mark of a specific minting officer, guaranteeing the coin's weight and purity. It was a complex system of checks and balances, all recorded on a tiny metal canvas. The symbols on these coins are a window into the world of the Mahajanapadas. The sun symbol, for example, is almost universal on these early coins, perhaps representing a supreme authority or a solar dynasty. The famous six-armed symbol is often associated with the powerful kingdom of Magadha, which would eventually grow into the Mauryan Empire. Other kingdoms had their own distinct symbols. The coins of Saurashtra, in modern-day Gujarat, often featured a humble bull. The coins of the Ashmaka kingdom in the south showed symbols like a tree in a railing. These symbols were the logos of their time, instantly recognizable to the people who used them daily. Collecting these coins today is like assembling a puzzle from ancient India. Numismatists, the scholars who study coins, try to link specific combinations of symbols to different kingdoms and time periods. Because these coins were used for centuries, they often bear the marks of multiple authorities. A coin issued by one kingdom could be revalidated with a new mark by another, creating a layered history on a single piece of silver. These small, unassuming metal pieces are not just currency. They are historical documents, whispering tales of forgotten kings, bustling trade routes, and the dawn of India's great empires. The rise of the Mauryan Empire under Chandragupta Maurya in the 4th century BCE was a turning point for India. For the first time, a single power controlled a vast expanse of the subcontinent, from the Himalayas to the Deccan. Such a massive empire required an equally massive and organized administration. This is reflected beautifully in its coinage. The Mauryans did not invent new types of coins. Instead, they perfected the existing punch-marked system. They centralized and standardized coin production on an unprecedented scale. The irregular, often crude coins of the Mahajanapadas were replaced by more uniform silver Karshapanas. Under the Mauryans, coinage became an instrument of the state. The Arthashastra, an ancient treatise on statecraft attributed to Chanakya, lays down detailed rules for the mint master, the Lakshanadhyaksha. It specifies the exact proportions of silver, copper, and other metals to be used in coins. It describes a system of 5 official symbols that must be present on every imperial coin. 2 of these symbols, the sun and the 6-armed symbol, were carried over from the Magadhan period, representing the continuity of imperial power. The other 3 symbols changed with the ruler or the mint, acting as a form of quality control and a way to track the coin's origin. The most profound change in Mauryan coinage came during the reign of Emperor Ashoka. After the brutal Kalinga War, Ashoka embraced Buddhism and the concept of dharma, or righteous living. This transformation was not just reflected in his famous rock edicts. It subtly influenced the empire's coinage as well. While the main imperial symbols remained, numismatists have noticed the appearance of new, smaller marks on coins from his era. These include symbols like the 3-arched hill with a crescent, often interpreted as the Chaitya or a Buddhist stupa, and the elephant, a symbol of the Buddha's conception. The coins began to carry a quiet message of the emperor's new path. These Mauryan punch-marked coins were produced in the millions and circulated across the entire empire, creating a common economic language. They have been found in hoards from Afghanistan to Karnataka, a testament to the empire's vast reach. For a collector, these coins represent the power and efficiency of India's first great empire. While the coins of Ashoka may not shout his message of Dharma as loudly as his pillars do, they carry a gentle echo of his philosophy. They show us how a ruler's personal beliefs can subtly shape even the most functional objects of state, turning a simple piece of silver into a carrier of a moral and spiritual legacy. After the decline of the mighty Mauryan Empire, India's political landscape fragmented. This fragmentation, however, led to an explosion of creativity in coinage. The northwest of the subcontinent became a fascinating melting pot of cultures, starting with the arrival of the Indo-Greeks. Descendants of Alexander the Great's army, these kings introduced a completely new style of coin. For the first time, Indian coins featured realistic and often beautiful portraits of the rulers. On the other side, or reverse, they depicted Greek deities like Zeus, Heracles, and Apollo, often accompanied by legends in Greek script. This was a radical departure from the symbolic punch-marked coins. As the Indo-Greeks assimilated into the Indian cultural fabric, their coins began to reflect this fusion. They started issuing bilingual coins, with Greek legends on one side, and Prakrit legends in Kharosthi, or Brahmi script on the other. Greek gods were sometimes replaced by Indian deities. For instance, the coins of King Agathocles are famous for featuring some of the earliest known depictions of Hindu gods, Balarama and Vasudeva Krishna. These coins are incredibly rare and important, as they provide tangible evidence of the conversation happening between Hellenistic and Indian cultures over 2,000 years ago. They are not just money, they are artifacts of a unique cultural synthesis. Following the Indo-Greeks, other groups from Central Asia, like the Shakas and Parthians, made their way into India. each adding their own chapter to the numismatic story. But it was the Kushans, who established a vast empire in the early centuries of the Common Era, who created a truly remarkable coinage. Their most famous ruler, Kanishka I, issued beautiful gold coins that showcased an extraordinary pantheon of deities. His coins featured not only Greek and Zoroastrian gods, but also Buddhist and Hindu figures. We see coins with images of the Buddha, Shiva, and gods from across the Silk Road, reflecting the empire's cosmopolitan nature. While these powerful empires minted their coins, various local tribes, or Janapadas, also re-emerged and began issuing their own currency. The Yaudheyas, a martial tribe in present-day Haryana, issued coins depicting the warrior god Kartikeya, highlighting their military prowess. The Audumbaras, from the Himalayan foothills, created beautiful silver coins featuring the sage Vishvamitra. These tribal coins are often rarer than imperial issues because they were minted in smaller quantities and circulated in limited areas. They provide a valuable, localized perspective, reminding us that India's history was not just shaped by great empires, but also by these proud, independent communities. The period of the Gupta Empire, from the 4th to the 6th century CE, is often called the Golden Age of India. This was a time of great prosperity, stability, and a flourishing of arts, science, and literature. This golden age is most brilliantly reflected in the empire's coins, particularly their magnificent gold dinars. The Guptas took the artistic traditions of the Kushans and elevated them to a level of unparalleled refinement and beauty. Their coins are not just currency, they are miniature masterpieces of bas-relief sculpture, celebrating the power, piety, and accomplishments of the Gupta emperors. They are, without a doubt, the high point of ancient Indian numismatic art. The coins of the first great Gupta king, Samudragupta, showcase an amazing variety of designs. The standard type shows the king holding a royal standard, a symbol of his authority. The archer type, which became the most popular design for his successors, depicts him as a powerful warrior holding a bow. But Samudragupta also issued coins that celebrated his cultural pursuits. The Rarest type shows him seated on a couch, playing the veena, a stringed instrument, highlighting his prowess as a musician and a patron of the arts. Another rare type, the Ashvamedha type, commemorates the ancient Vedic horse sacrifice ceremony he performed to declare his undisputed sovereignty. The artistry reached its zenith under his son, Chandragupta II, also known as Vikramaditya. His coins are renowned for their exquisite detail and execution. The portraits of the king are majestic and powerful, and the reverse of the coins often features the goddess Lakshmi, seated gracefully on a lotus, symbolizing the prosperity and good fortune of the empire. Chandragupta II also issued a rare and fascinating chhatra or umbrella type, showing him being attended by a dwarf carrying a royal parasol. Another famous and highly sought-after type is the lion slayer type, where the king is shown dramatically wrestling a lion, a powerful metaphor for his strength and ability to conquer any challenge. The Gupta emperors used their coins as a canvas to project an image of the ideal king, a mighty warrior, a devout follower of Dharma, a patron of the arts, and a protector of his people. Kumaragupta I, for example, issued an even wider variety of types, including the rhinoceros slayer and the Kartikeya type, which shows the god of war on his peacock mount. The sheer artistic quality, the purity of the gold, and the symbolic richness make Gupta coins some of the most desirable in all of Indian numismatics. Collecting them is like holding a piece of India's classical heritage in the palm of your hand, a tiny golden window into a truly glorious age. After the fall of the Guptas, India's political unity once again fractured. The medieval period, stretching roughly from the 7th to the 12th century, was characterized by the rise of powerful regional kingdoms, each with its own distinct culture and identity. This regionalism is clearly visible in the coinage of the time. In North India, a common numismatic template emerged, often called the Indo-Sasanian or Gadhaya Paisa type. These were debased silver or bilan coins derived from the designs of the Sasanian Empire of Persia. Initially, they featured a stylized bust of a king, But over centuries of imitation, the design became increasingly abstract and crude, eventually looking more like a geometric pattern than a human face. Within this broad northern tradition, some dynasties created more distinctive coins. The Shahi kings of Kabul and Gandhara, for instance, issued beautiful silver and copper coins with a very clear design. A horseman holding a lance on one side and a seated bull on the other. These bull and horseman coins became so popular that they were imitated by many later Rajput dynasties for centuries. Similarly, the Kalachuris of Tripuri issued elegant coins featuring a seated goddess, a design that was later adopted by the Gahadavalas of Kannauj and the Chandelas of Jejakabhukti. These coins show how designs were shared, copied, and adapted across different kingdoms in the north. The story of coinage in South India during this period is completely different. The great southern empires, the Chalukyas, the Pallavas, the Cholas, and the Pandyas, developed their own unique numismatic language. Unlike the northern kingdoms that often used silver, the southern powers predominantly used gold and copper. Their coins were typically small, thick, and deeply struck. Instead of portraits of kings, they favored dynastic crests and symbols. For example, the Chalukyas used the boar, or Varaha, the Pandyas used the fish, or Matsya, and the Cholas used the tiger, or Puli. A famous Chola coin shows a tiger sitting under a parasol, flanked by the Pandyan fish and the Chera bow, symbolizing the Chola supremacy over the other two great Tamil kingdoms. These southern coins tell a story of commerce and maritime power. The coins of the mighty Chola Empire, especially under rulers like Rajaraja Chola, have been found as far away as Southeast Asia and China, tracing the roots of their powerful navy and merchant fleets. The Vijayanagara Empire, which rose later in the 14th century, continued this tradition, issuing beautiful gold pagodas and phanams featuring a pantheon of Hindu deities like Venkateshwara, Balakrishna, and the divine couple Lakshmi Narayana. These medieval coins, from both the north and the south, are vital historical records. They help us map the rise and fall of dynasties and understand the distinct cultural and economic worlds that coexisted on the subcontinent. The arrival of Turkic invaders from Central Asia at the end of the 12th century brought a dramatic change to North India and its coinage. With the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate in 1206, a new numismatic tradition rooted in Islamic principles was introduced. The most significant change was the complete disappearance of figural representations. In line with Islamic aniconism, which discourages the depiction of living beings, the portraits of kings and images of gods vanished from the coins. In their place, the coins were filled with elegant Arabic and Persian calligraphy. The metal surface became a space to proclaim the ruler's faith, titles, and lineage. The sultans of Delhi standardized the currency, establishing the silver tanka and the copper jital as the backbone of the monetary system. The coins were inscribed with the sultan's name and titles, often including grand declarations like the Second Alexander or the Shadow of God on Earth. They also invariably included the kalima, the basic profession of the Islamic faith. This was a powerful statement of the new political and religious order. The name of the mint city and the date of issue in the Hijri calendar were also included, making these coins invaluable historical documents for tracking the extent of the Sultan's empire and the timeline of his reign. The Sultanate period was also a time of bold and sometimes disastrous monetary experiments. The most famous of these was undertaken by Muhammad bin Tughlaq in the 14th century. Inspired by the use of paper money in China, he introduced a token currency. He ordered that brass and copper tokens be used as if they were silver and gold coins. The idea was to conserve precious metals. However, the plan failed spectacularly because the state could not prevent widespread counterfeiting. Ordinary artisans could easily make brass tokens in their backyards. Soon, the market was flooded with fakes, leading to economic chaos. The Sultan had to withdraw the currency and redeem all the tokens, both genuine and fake, at a huge cost to the treasury. While the Delhi Sultanate was the dominant power, other independent sultanates, such as those in Bengal, Gujarat, and the Deccan, the Bahmani Sultanate, also issued their own distinct coins. The coins of the Bengal sultans are famous for their intricate calligraphic patterns, known as Tugra script. The sultans of Gujarat sometimes used a mix of Persian and local Nagari scripts. These regional issues demonstrate the rich diversity within the broader Islamic coinage tradition of medieval India. For a collector, Sultanate coins are a fascinating study in calligraphy, political propaganda, and bold economic theories, offering a glimpse into a transformative period of Indian history. When Babur established the Mughal Empire in 1526, he laid the foundation for one of the most powerful and artistically brilliant dynasties in Indian history. This splendor is reflected in their coinage, which is renowned for its metallurgical purity, standardized weight, and exceptional aesthetic quality. The great Emperor Akbar reformed the entire monetary system, issuing magnificent gold mohurs, silver rupees, and copper dams from mints located all across his vast empire. Like the Sultanate coins, Mughal currency was primarily calligraphic, featuring the ruler's name and titles in elegant Persian script. Akbar's coins often carried lofty inscriptions, such as "The Great Sultan," "The Exalted Emperor," set within beautiful floral scrolls and geometric borders. The artistic peak of Mughal coinage was reached during the reign of Akbar's son, Jahangir. A great connoisseur of art and nature, Jahangir broke with Islamic tradition and introduced extraordinary portrait and zodiac coins. His portrait mohurs are masterpieces of numismatic art. One famous type shows him holding a goblet of wine, while another depicts him with a halo around his head, a concept borrowed from European art to signify his divine radiance. These highly realistic portraits were a bold assertion of his imperial authority and personal style. They are extremely rare and are considered the crown jewels of any collection of Indian coins, fetching astronomical prices at auctions. Even more famous are Jahangir's zodiac coins. Between 1618 and 1624, he issued a series of gold mohurs and silver rupees where he replaced the traditional calligraphic reverse with the sign of the zodiac corresponding to the month of issue. Instead of the mint date, one would find a beautifully rendered image of Aries the ram, Taurus the bull, Gemini the twins, and so on for all 12 signs. These coins are a testament to Jahangir's fascination with astrology and his flair for creative expression. It is said that these were struck under the influence of his powerful wife, Nur Jahan, whose name also appears on some of the coins he issued. The Mughal coin tradition continued with high standards under Shah Jahan, the builder of the Taj Mahal, and Aurangzeb. Shah Jahan's coins are noted for their complex calligraphic designs, set within squares and circles, reflecting the perfect symmetry seen in his architecture. The orthodox Aurangzeb, however, removed the kalima from his coins, reasoning that the holy words could be defiled when the coins were handled by non-believers. He also abolished the practice of putting the ruler's portrait on coins. The decline of the Mughal Empire is mirrored in the declining quality of its later coinage. Yet, at their height, Mughal coins were more than just money. They were symbols of imperial power, artistic genius, and personal legacy. As the Mughal Empire weakened in the 18th century, regional powers like the Marathas, Sikhs, and Rajputs began to assert their independence, often by striking their own coins. The Marathas issued coins in the name of the Mughal emperor, but added their own distinct marks, like a floral spray or the symbol for Shri. The Sikh Empire under Maharaja Ranjit Singh issued coins from Amritsar and Lahore, known as the Nanak Shahi series, which featured a prominent leaf mark. Tipu Sultan of Mysore created a highly innovative and unique coinage system with new names for coins, a new calendar system, and beautiful calligraphic designs, often featuring his emblem, the tiger. These regional coins are a rich field for collectors, representing a period of transition and defiant local identity. This era of fragmentation came to an end with the rise of the British. The East India Company initially issued coins that mimicked local styles to ensure acceptance. But by 1835, they introduced a uniform coinage for all of British India. These coins featured the portrait of the reigning British monarch, first William IV, then Victoria, Edward VII, George V, and George VI. This marked a return to portraiture on a grand scale after centuries of primarily calligraphic coins. Some of the great rarities of this period include the 1839 rupee, with a divided legend of Queen Victoria, and the 1939 rupee, which was minted in very small numbers due to the outbreak of World War II. On August 15, 1947, India gained independence, and a new chapter in its numismatic history began. The first coins of independent India were issued in 1950. While they maintained the size and metal of the British-era coins, the portrait of the British monarch was replaced by India's national emblem, the Ashokan lion capital. This was a powerful statement of sovereignty. The reverse of the coins featured a bold stalk of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural base and prosperity. In 1957, India shifted to a decimal system, where 1 rupee was divided into 100 naya paise, or new paise. The word naya was dropped in 1964. Since then, Indian coinage has continued to evolve. The government has issued hundreds of commemorative coins to celebrate important personalities, events, and institutions, from Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru to the Commonwealth Games and the Indian Space Research Organization. These coins serve as miniature history lessons for the public. For modern collectors, rare coins are often found in the form of mules, coins with mismatched obverse and reverse dies, or error coins. The journey of Indian coinage, from ancient punch-marked pieces to modern commemoratives, is a mirror that reflects the subcontinent's incredible history, its empires, its art, its faiths, and its journey from diverse kingdoms to a unified modern nation.